Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars is a card-based RPG developed by Alim Co. Ltd. And published by Square Enix. It's the first of 3 games in the Voice of Cards series, and it feels weird saying that because it felt like the first one only came out recently. My time blindness aside, I'm Mahmoud Eden, and I'm here to tell you what's good about the early goings of Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars. This was a game I was interested in between its unique presentation, gameplay, and most importantly, the fact that it was worked on by a bunch of Nier and Drakengard alumni, including, but not limited to, Kimihiko Fujisaka, Keiichi Okabe, and Yoko Taro. And after experiencing Nier Automata, I was all, sign me up, Yoko, take the wheel! Nier Automata is a game I should go for this channel, that'd be neat. Our story is one of swords and sorcery, opening with a trio of alabaster white-clad heroes faring a dungeon to slay a great dragon, only to discover that they aren't the focus. You instead take the reins of a simple mercenary named Ash, whose name you can change, taking on the quest to slay the dragon purely for the profit motive. Accompanying you are Mar, your land shark, dog, clodsire-looking ass thing, who exists purely to be fucking adorable, and the witch Melanie, who is seeking the dragon for her own purposes. Based on the opening bits so far, it feels like your standard fantasy story. Not that that's bad or anything, it's just that considering the pedigree of the names I mentioned at the beginning, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Because one can never take Yoko Taro at face value. Aside from the narrative, the presentation of Voice of Cards is also what caught my eyes and ears. It's all done in the form of a 2-person tabletop RPG. Everything from the cards, the gems used for the resources, the dice for certain attacks, and even the ambient lighting are all in service to making the game look and feel as authentic as possible. This is also done through the use of the Game Master. The Game Master is the one who tells the story, voices all the characters, and runs the combat in the context of Voice of Cards. I also really like him because he's voiced by Todd Haberkorn, who's the Drifter in Destiny 2. So I keep half expecting him to just say stuff like the Drifter does in Destiny, mainly how things taste weird and just a random utterance of transmat firing, but that's just me and my Destiny poisoned brain talking. These also appear in the gameplay as well. It has all these aesthetic flourishes associated with card games and tabletop RPGs. Voice of Cards actually plays more like a traditional JRPG. This makes the presentation a rather inspired choice because this isn't the kind of thing that comes around too often these days. The game is broken up into 4 distinct parts: towns, traveling, dungeons, and combat. You use your time in town to advance the narrative and restock on items and get new equipment, and then you use those to traverse the overworld and get to your next destination. And along the way, you can even fight some stuff, as well as doing proper combat in the dungeons. It's a formula as old as games themselves, and it still works today. The cards are what make it interesting because of the way they flip over to reveal more of the world and even introduce new characters, treasures, even plot-relevant stuff. It's neat as heck. And then there's combat. This combat is pretty neat so far because while I know it's a turn-based RPG, it still feels like it's a game of cards I'm playing and using the resources I have to maximize my efforts. The characters you control also have abilities that are wholly unique to them so far. Ash/name TBD uses swords and light magic to be an all-rounder, Melanie is a straight-up black mage type who nukes fools, and Mar is a physical powerhouse at the moment because he can throw himself around for big damage. There's also one thing I've noticed. Because this is a tabletop-based game, there are dice involved. And if dice are involved, then RNGesus is involved. And this means that Voice of Cards is following the universal law of RNG. And that's that RNGesus giveth and RNGesus taketh away. This isn't so bad because the enemies you fight are largely playing by the same rules, and the game is very upfront about how lucky or unlucky you can get at times, and it goes a long way to alleviating any frustration RNG can toss your way. This even extends to the boss fights so far. While some of these enemies can really wreck you if you aren't careful, using strategy, and being a tad over-leveled, can go a long way to ensuring your success. Have I mentioned the aesthetics yet? I think I'm going to mention them real fast. The character and monster designs by Kimihiko Fujisaka are all wonderful, giving a wide range of looks for each card, be they NPC, monster, or more importantly, character art that is all beautifully done. The vibes are also kept up by the music by the also aforementioned Keiichi Okabe. They all convey in a variety of tones, but the overall theming of the music here is let's go on an adventure. Well, it's probably got some real bangers lined up for the later parts of the game. So far, the early music is light and breezy. I appreciate it. So far, Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars feels like a nice throwback to old-school JRPGs. While I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop because this is a game made by a bunch of Nier and Drakengard alumni, so far what I've played is pretty neat. I recommend giving it a try if you need something with a boatload of charm on offer. And that would be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like it if you did. Don't forget to also share it if you really liked it. And also, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.